What changes will Bruce Cassidy make in Game 4 to counter Pete DeBoer's adjustments and what has become a chess match of sorts? Our preview. Game number 4 comes your way next right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Find us wherever you get your podcast. And you could find us in places like Apple and Spotify. And please subscribe to Locked On Golden Knights, of course, our YouTube channel. We are brought to you today by Monopoly Go. Download Monopoly Go for free on the App Store and on Google Play. Bruce Cassidy will be making adjustments for tonight's Game 4 with VGK leading Dallas 2-1. Most importantly will be how the Golden Knights can play better defensively, in my belief. VGK gave up all those high danger chances, and Pete DeBoer may have to come up with another new wrinkle. And he did come up with a new wrinkle on breakouts, especially for game number 3. Cassidy admitted on Sunday that the Stars broke out faster. They did it from the goal line. They got it out to the neutral zone, something Cassidy saw Dallas execute a little bit to some degree in game 2, and then they took it to another level. And it led to a lot of these odd man rushes. So, again, let's start off with VGK's defense in tonight's game and what adjustments they'll make.
So you make a really good point about how quick the Stars were getting down the ice. The Golden Knights, Coach Cassidy's defensive system is that in which does not allow other teams to get those stretch passes and create those odd man rushes. Well, that went away, obviously, on Saturday night because it felt like the Dallas Stars had an odd man rush about every other minute or something like that, including multiple odd man rushes in short periods of time. And, of course, full marks to Logan Thompson for even giving the Golden Knights a chance to win this game. And you wonder, why did that happen, I guess? That's the first question right there. I mean, the Stars definitely dominated the shots in Monday's game, but that was a little bit of a fool's gold type of moment in the sense that the Stars were trailing and dominating and attacking and things like that. The Golden Knights kind of went into a shell. So I don't put a lot of stock into that. Game 2, Golden Knights outshot the Stars by a noticeable margin. Then game 3 was what it was. So again, DeBoer, I've been muting both of us, and anyone that follows me knows I'm not a DeBoer believer, but DeBoer definitely gets so much credit for finding a way, whether it was the player that did something, he did something, a combination of both. I definitely put a lot of value into the coaching at this time of the season. And I'm getting out my phone for a reason because I'm getting chirped here on YouTube. Joe Ma 99 and Bo Bowie, I don't know, David Bowie reference maybe. They're both trying to tell me that coaching is irrelevant at this time of the season, that it's all about the players. And I couldn't disagree more. I mean, I understand what they're getting at as far as the execution side of the game, but the coaches are the one putting the lineup out there. They're the ones making the moves that don't get made in the regular season. DeBoer did something in game 3 that saved the Stars season. So coaching is everything at this level. Maybe not the drill side of it at practice, if you will, but definitely in the war room before the game starts, in the office, if you will. That's where the real coaching is happening right now.
No, coaching does matter, especially at this time of season, and coaching in-game adjustments is most important, and that's what Cassidy's forte is, if you will. And at times, VGK does not respond to Cassidy. He said he didn't need to jump on the team after the overtime loss. Cassidy said yesterday that it's pretty much incumbent on the leaders and on the bench in game. Said he didn't need to hit the team over the head. And the worst part of this, the team needed rest after coming off of a 3-day layoff between games. They needed rest. Why do they need rest? Just explain that to me.
It's a vet group, and I think Cassidy is trying to stand behind the team. No one knows.
Rest? Do they need rest? You play one game in 4 days now?
Okay. I mean, it's one game that ended at 11 o'clock local time. And I mean, I know it's different than the rest of the regular season, but if Coach Cassidy saw something where I mean, you saw the game, Tony. Do they need to get their butts out there and do ladders, or do they need the rest? I mean, this is where I put a lot of trust into Coach Cassidy, and whether it's his roster composition for the game, we'll talk about what might happen in the next segment, of course, or Cassidy saying, hey, the team needs some rest. Today's practice will be optional instead of mandatory. Like, whatever Coach Cassidy says goes. And I had a good up and back with the spirit of the cap, one of the Twitter handles that was born as a result of our all our salary cap references and stuff like that. But we had a good up and back about Cassidy yesterday. My argument was Cassidy knows what's going on. Cassidy's got the ring on his finger. He knows how to do it. And Spirit of the Cap came back and said they felt that's an overused perspective. And just because he's got a Stanley Cup ring, it doesn't necessarily mean he does everything right. And it's fair. It's fair. So it was a good, pleasant up and back, but I'll definitely err on the side of the ring versus what I think, what you think, what Spirit of the Cap thinks, and anyone else out there.
Braden McNabb, I want to talk about him, and he was asked Cassidy
He's
yesterday
good.
about him.
He's good.
Our 2024 unsung hero. When's the award presentation coming out?
I would just think we need to name awards. Like we need to do like an award show at the end of the year. We have to have special names for
We
the
have
awards.
one, but okay, we'll do something like that. That's cool. Like name them in honor of a player or something around us.
Tony, we're creative. We'll come up with something fun that probably 30% of people will hate.
So McNabb said that VGK needs to manage pucks better. And we know that that has been an issue, not just in this series, but even late in the season and against teams that absolutely stunk and didn't make the playoffs. And also now, how do they reestablish net front presence, I guess, on both ends of the ice?
Good question. I mean, it's a question I really don't have a good answer to.
I'm trying to be a journalist today.
No, I'm not an entertainer either. I'm a podcaster. The Golden Knights need to pick a lane and stick to it, I think. Whether it's going to be trying to carry the puck across the blue line and make that move to the inside of the ice. Credit full marks to the Dallas Stars. They kept the Golden Knights to the outside, which is what me and Chris both mentioned they needed to do in our Chris and Chris show. So maybe that's where Pete DeBoer got the idea. They kept the Golden Knights to the outside. And this is where some of the skilled puck carriers, this is a spot where Shea Theodore and Noah Hannafin can really try and drive things from the defense. You watched like what Cale Makar did yesterday against the Winnipeg Jets. And obviously the Golden Knights don't have Cale Makar on their team or Bobby Orr for that matter, which is what Cale Makar looks like these days. But Shea Theodore, Noah Hannafin, even Zach Whitecloud to an outside degree, but definitely Theodore and Hannafin as far as carrying that puck instead of looking to get that puck into the corner, instead of just going to the side wall and waiting for something to happen. You need some creativity. You need them to take some chances. And is now the time to be taking those types of chances? I don't know. I mean, it's a 2-1 series lead for the Golden Knights, but you watch Coach Cassidy in the presser yesterday. This is a different version of Cassidy. Not as much. He wasn't cracking jokes about what time the games were ending and stuff like that. And he wasn't, he's a coach that's a little bit concerned going into game 4, knowing it's a must win. It's a must win, Tony.
Must win, back on the slate. Okay, so I'm going to make a statement here about Logan Thompson. The longer this series goes, Chris Golick, the less trust I will have in Logan Thompson. So, in other words, he had to make a ton of saves the other night. And the longer this series goes, we might see the LT of old. I'm just saying, I just feel that Logan Thompson, is this a flash in the pan? Is he playing over his head? All these questions still do exist. And the longer this series goes, Chris, the less trust I have in LT.
I mean, this is you should be the Golden Knights fans should be thanking you right now, and hopefully Logan has a mutual friend that collects bulletin board material, because you just probably gave him the best piece of bulletin board material that he might have of the entire 23-24 regular season and playoffs right there. Listen, Logan's the man until he tells us he's not the man, and obviously that's going to be by his play speaking. Yeah, he had that one terrible goal given up in game 2. Fine, whatever, it's going to happen. But Logan has done nothing but answer the bell. Now, If you would have told me you're concerned about the fatigue, I would have nodded my head and said, okay, I can see that. But as far as not trusting him, I mean, what's he done down the stretch? I mean, there was a couple of bad games down the stretch, but nowhere near what Aiden Hill had been doing. Logan got the job done on Monday nights in game 1. Game 2, he was really good besides one bad goal. Unfortunately, it was a really bad goal, but, you know, it was a bad goal. And then game 3, I mean, geez, I mean, people were trying to dog him on that Wyatt Johnston move at the end of the game there. Like, really? They're not talking about Braden McNabb dropping his stick, and that happens. Not nothing against Braden, but that's what happened. And then Shea Theodore got beat to the outside. Now, Shea Theodore put him in the right place to make a good shot, but Shea Theodore still got beat in a 1v1 circumstance. So that's the takeaway right there.
Okay. Coming up next, we've got the Karlsson injury and potential lineup changes. We'll talk about that when we return right here on this Monday edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Locked Off. It is playoff time in the NBA and NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every single game. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets, and that is guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. And VGK is an underdog tonight, Chris. Yeah, you just not
minus 115, minus 105. Slight dog.
Okay, as of post. Well, this is pre-post time. Okay, so what are you waiting for? Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make your first bet an automatic win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And we are brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app today. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL, and you will receive $20 off of your first purchase. Gametime is now an authorized ticket marketplace for Major League Baseball, and that makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Gametime app actually go down the closer it gets to the first pitch. And we've got tickets as well for tonight's Game 4 VGK Dallas series. And what app features has pleasantly surprised you when you go on there? What do you like about Gametime in the app? Well, we like the last-minute tickets, the flash deals, the zone deals, all of that. And then there's all-in pricing. So you toggle this feature, and it shows the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. The lowest price guaranteed on Gametime, or Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets today with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, use the redeem code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. On Fridays, we've got WTF. On Saturday, the YouTube exclusive, the Chris and Chris Jr. Show. And you could catch that as a YouTube exclusive. Go to Locked On Golden Knights and please subscribe there. So something is wrong with William Karlsson, with Lars. Cassidy admitted yesterday, as we illustrated on yesterday's special show on Sunday, that something is wrong pretty much with Karlsson, because he admitted that Tomas Hertl is going to be taking all of the faceoffs with Karlsson taking off now. He's not in the faceoff circle, and good analysis by you yesterday. And you were thinking perhaps it could be something related to a hand injury.
I'm going back
to. Are you giving me thumbs?
Yes, I gave you the thumb. I'm going back to Jack Eichel when he had his injury in season number 5. It came out after the season that Jack Eichel played 4, 5, 6 weeks with a broken thumb. Dude's a warrior, but that's why Eichel was limited on his faceoffs down the stretch in season number 5. So does Karlsson have a broken thumb? I don't know. Coach Cassidy was very, very quick about it when it was brought up in the post-game presser, and that was by design. And then next question. So he definitely skirted over that pretty quick. So Karlsson, definitely there's something going on right there. And we unearthed that, if you will, as Tony was yapping. I was kind of typing, looking at face-off stats and numbers, and that was my theory, if you will. And then obviously there's something going on. So we'll see how that plays out. And also how much the line shuffle played out in the Stars having all those odd man rushes yesterday. I think that or on Saturday, that definitely plays a part to it, I think.
And I think Hurdle needs to be at his natural center position to be effective. I do. I can't see him doing very well with someone that hogs the puck either. What other changes? What other changes would we see? I'm still surprised Cassidy sticking with Zach Whitecloud, especially if the defense plays that poorly. Pavel Dorofeev could provide an offensive spark. Does Cassidy go to the well tonight?
I don't think he goes to the well, but I think there's changes. I am 100% with you. That line of Stone, Mantha, and Hurdle, I think, is a much stronger line. The second and third lines were borderline ineffective at times on Saturday night. Both Golden Knights goals were in special team circumstances. Well, I don't know if 4-on-4 is considered special teams, but you know what I'm saying. It was a 4-on-4 goal and then a penalty kill goal. Everyone was ineffective. It wasn't just the middle six, but you saw more effectiveness, if you will, when you had that line of Hurdle, Stevenson, and Stone. So I don't think you're going to see Dorofeev come in. I don't think you're going to see Amadio come in. I think you're going to see the same group of forwards. Now, here's what I would put out there possibly as a way to help out with William Karlsson's circumstance while keeping the second line intact. So go back to the second line. Stone, Hurdle, Stevenson, however that's been, leave it. Of course, the top line isn't changing. So line 3, Karlsson, Mantha, move Nick Waugh up. Have Nick Waugh go from fourth line center to left wing on the third line. Have him take those faceoffs.
The Brett Howden line? Are you telling me that we're going to see
the Brett Howden line? And then I'm going to put Brett Howden on the fourth line with Carrier and Kolesar. That line stays just as heavy, if not heavier. And maybe if you're concerned about Howden's defensive liability, which I don't think Cassidy is, but maybe as a center that changes a little bit, you can limit their shifts. I mean, they only got 4 or 5 shifts in a couple of the periods this game or this series anyway. So I don't think there's much change there. And Karlsson and Nick Waugh also could be a scoring punch on top of their defensive game, which will definitely, I mean, Nick Waugh going to the left wing with Karlsson is a defensive upgrade over Brett Howden anyway. And then obviously the fourth line will go ahead and just do their thing. The other thing Cassidy could do is if he wants to go back to his regular lines with Howden on the third line, is you just limit the faceoffs, the situations. Now, icings obviously are a different story, but you just limit the amount of faceoffs that the third line will take and you send them over the boards, not necessarily when you do it during play instead of when the play is not going, but easier said than done.
To his credit, of course, Vegas Bjorn has played in every game this season. But if he becomes a liability, that's another story. It's playoff time.
Oh, no doubt. 100%. You're 100%
okay,
right.
So you've got Eichel. You have Stevenson's a natural center. I said this yesterday. You have Hurdle, and you could go with Waugh, and you could go with those 4 centers. And if his thumb or his hangnail is bothering him, then you sit down Lars. I mean, it's pretty simple. Is he that important? Well, how did he grade out on Saturday night?
That's a good question. I probably can't pull it
very well. Not very well.
It wasn't well. No, but no one did. I mean, I think literally the only positive grade was McNabb and a couple other ones. So you're 100% right. And if any player is a liability at this stage of the game, they need to be on the bench. And that does include William Karlsson 100%. Karlsson, his defense is obviously what everyone is preaching about. And sure, if it's a broken, again, we don't know. There's something with his hand, his wrist, or a finger that is causing him from not being able to take faceoffs. Let's be clear about this right now. Does that matter as far as his skating ability goes and going stride for stride with Rupe Hintz, with Joe Pavelski, with Wyatt Johnston and Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin? I don't know if that matters a whole lot. I think that's definitely what his specialty is going to be. Maybe he's not going to shoot as much, but to your credit, Tony, you've mentioned the lack of shooting by William Karlsson. Maybe this injury has something to do with that right now.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt something's up with him, and the way that Cassidy had answered that question in short order about him not taking faceoffs tells you, just read into the story.
Let's talk about Whitecloud just for a quick second. We started that, and once William Karlsson's name comes up, that's obviously going to be a segment by itself. Whitecloud, I think, started poorly again. I've been all over White Cloud. He's not been playing well. I will 1000% concede that right now. That said, I thought White Cloud's game got better as the last game progressed. He had a terrible turnover early in the game, just an awful turnover. But then you started seeing a good active stick from him. You started seeing him get in the passing lanes. It was probably the most comfortable I think he's looked in a minute right there. Nick Hague is his partner. They've been partners for, on and off for 2.5 years on the defense. And then now you bring in Alec Martinez, who Alec Martinez should be a pretty easy player to adjust to. So that shouldn't necessarily slow down White Cloud's game. Could this be a spot where Hutton is possibly inserted into the lineup? Maybe. White Cloud lefty, Hutton, or White Cloud righty, Hutton lefty. So Coach Cassidy tries to keep the lefty righty thing going on, not all the time. But I wouldn't be against seeing Hutton come into the lineup, but I don't feel as concerned about White Cloud after simply watching. Now, he didn't grade out well. I know that, but no one graded out well. But just the eye test at White Cloud on Saturday night was a lot better than what I've seen really for the last 3 weeks, to be fair.
Yeah, and I had a question about Dallas social media. They said that the crowd was louder for the Stars than VGK's fans.
They said the crowd was louder when they scored the overtime goal. Of course they're louder. What do you expect the Stars, what do you expect the Golden Knight fans to do after they watch Wyatt Johnson score an overtime goal? Cheer? All they're going to do is go, and you're going to hear the Stars fans. And a lot of Stars fans there. Stars fans were all great to interact with. I had some fun with them, of course, and there you go.
So you're going to the game tonight, 6:30 face-off?
I'm not going to the game tonight. No, Christopher has his first house league game tonight, so I'll be behind the bench there, coaching maybe with an eye up at Mackenzie River, or not Mackenzie River. It is Mackenzie River. With not Mackenzie River keeping an eye on the score of the game.
Okay. Coming up next, we do have our locks of the night and our predictions for game number 4. It's a must-win. You see it right there on the slate. Stay with us. More after this on Locked On Golden Knights. We want to talk today about Monopoly Go, and I'm sure that you've heard of it. It's been downloaded more than 150 million times. It is a great twist on Monopoly, where you play on not just one, but on hundreds of Monopoly boards in crazy locations, and you could build up amazing cities that bring you big money. The best part is messing with your friends. It's so much fun. You can charge them rent on iconic properties, just like in classic Monopoly, but now you can also rob their vaults, and you can rob them of all the riches for yourself. And the leaderboards, they show you who is the biggest Monopoly tycoon. But it's not our competitive side here on Locked On Golden Knights that really loves it. You can team up with friends. You can team up with people around the world. And there are timed tournaments that earn you huge rewards. So get in the game and join all of your friends. Download Monopoly Go today. It's free on the App Store and on Google Play. That's Monopoly Go. Back on this Monday edition of Locked On Golden Knights. A time and a half for yesterday, doing an extra show, maybe. No. You've gone 7
views, over 500 views so far. We'll take it.
We'll take it. Bonus views, of course. And don't forget, Fridays are WTF. Saturdays are the Chris. And, Chris Jr. makes an appearance. There we go. Looking dapper. He's ready for tonight. He didn't need the week off and the rest. He was ready to go yesterday, a few days ago. He said he's ready to go. He's ready to play. And I want to see a good Selly tonight. Okay, Chris Jr., let's talk about our picks and predictions for tonight. Chris Jr., you need to jump in there. Let's get your take first. You picked the Golden Knights the other night.
So right.
What about that laugh?
Let's go.
Yeah, go ahead. It's your turn.
I think Dallas is going to be able to pull off another overtime win. 5-4 triple overtime.
Triple overtime.
Or two players. Sicko.
It's William Karlsson, #Show Tony, and I see it in March or so tonight.
Okay, it's a good pick. It's a couple of good picks.
Couple good picks.
Yeah, a couple of good picks there. One guy's playing with one hand, and the other one hasn't scored. Well, okay. What do you have?
What do I got?
Marchessault's streak was broken, right? At 12 games.
Something like that. Yeah. He was ineffective like everyone else on Saturday night for the most part. My thing is here, the game on Saturday was the worst Golden Knights, the worst they've looked throughout this series. They still found a way somehow to be within one shot of winning that game. I said early in the series that the ceiling was significantly higher, the potential, if you will, for the Golden Knights versus the Dallas Stars. The Golden Knights got within an inch of winning that game. Now, listen, Logan Thompson is why, but still, the Golden Knights have a lot more upward trajectory to go, where we're seeing peak performance right now from the Dallas Stars. I know some Dallas people are going to grill me for that, and I hope to see it in the comments on YouTube and Twitter and wherever else, but give me a 3-2 close game tonight. We're going to see a good performance from Logan again. 3-2 Golden Knights, Jack Eichel, and Shea Theodore. I keep going back to the well of Theodore.
Okay. I'm going to go with Dallas for the wags, the wives and girlfriends, plus the side pieces, 2. Dallas 4-2. And I'm wondering what time they're going to have the photo op tonight with all those nice new jackets that they're wearing. I'd like to photobomb that tonight if I can get out there. I'm going to go with Hurdle and Stevenson. Hurdle and Stevenson will be my 2 picks there tonight. Are they going to sell the wagwear now in the arsenal?
Wagwear, oh my god. I don't know. Just thinking out loud a couple of things here. Shea Theodore,
Stay till the end of the
Stevenson.
game. I saw his wife in the picture. Stay till the end of the game.
Fair enough. But Chandler Stevenson, William Karlsson, Barbashev, these are players who are ineffective is a strong word, but I can't think of a better word right now. These are the players that you really need to see them do something in this series. It can't just be Eichel and Hurdle and Marchessault. You really need to see some more offensive outputs from the depth. That's all we hear about, right? The Golden Knights are an extremely deep team, not breaking news by any means, but now it's time to prove it. And if you don't see players like Theodore, even a White Cloud stepping up a little bit more than he's been, it's going to make for a very tough finish to this series. We know right now it's going at least 5 games, most likely 6, if not 7. But again, can't stress the importance. I mean, it's must win. This is probably the first meaningful must win note on the board, because I know the whole if the Golden Knights drop this game, it'll be the away team winning every game. You can't bank on the road team, at least the Golden Knights cannot bank on winning 4 games on the road and advancing. It would be extremely difficult, and I just don't want it to go down like that.
And of course, the longer it goes, Logan Thompson, that's a factor. I'm really concerned about.
I'm going to push back. There's no way we're going to know, obviously, until the season ends.
If it goes 6 or 7,
honestly, it's not a poor take either.
Let me ask you this: is he going to have one of those really difficult games in this series where we see the old LT? Will that
Stars
happen?
are a good team.
Will the dam break at some point? Just curious.
You can, and the deeper the series goes, that certainly plays into your perspective here. But I don't think so. I really think he is locked on. There you go. He's never there. No, I really think Tony, that LT is locked on right now. He is locked in, not locked on. He's in a good place right now. Yeah. You should have heard the crowd going bonkers. It was William Karlsson-esque. It was William Karlsson.
Wait. Was VGK where the fans were louder than Dallas's fans?
They were. It was close in the pregame. It was really close, but I give the Golden Knights the 51-49 edge in the sound. But what I will not give an edge to is that dragon with no fire. I wanted a Rammstein concert, Tony. I wanted a friggin' Rammstein pyro thing, and all we got is the fog-breathing dragon. I'm mad. This is bothering me. So bring the fire back, and we got a fog show. We got a bad 80s band fog show.
Okay, are you saying
we got Foghat? We got Foghat. There you go. Foghat. That's the dragon's name. Foghats.
This is terrific. That's good.
That was good.
And you did it just ad-libbing. But I just wanted to say, though, why don't they put the pyrotechnics there and then light up some of the fans up there with the fire?
I offered Lee Orchard my green jersey for a Foghat to burn.
All right. Tomorrow we will have a show, hopefully. Again,
Maybe.
Tonight
it's questionable after this one.
Tonight the face-off is at 6:30, right? Which means 7:08 or so, thereabouts.
I'll
So
take
6:30.
658 and a hook, definitely.
Okay, definitely show up there tonight. Over under on Karlsson shots tonight is a half.
You're
So
probably not wrong on that, honestly. I might see if I can get some action on that.
you will see if there is an empty net situation, he'll be fine. He's not injured anymore. Okay. We appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much, especially our everydayers. You guys make this show tick. And thanks to all the fans tuning in from everywhere, even Dallas fans. You're welcome to the show. We like your takes. Leave messages there. I had a nice message yesterday. Someone disagreed with you as well. In my, I had
Only one person disagree with me. That's not bad.
he said, "How could he say that's you? How could you say that Cassidy was outcoached?" Fans did not like that.
He was outcoached, and it's okay. It happens. Like, you're talking about professional coaches. Cassidy lost that game. It's fine. It happens.
Don't
the board
forget,
does get credit for doing a good job. Like, it's okay to go on both sides there. It's okay.
We'll be back again tomorrow, of course, with our recap of game number 4. It's going to be a fun one tonight. See, fans are like so nervous, and I think this is fun time.
Enjoy
this is
the
fun.
game. It's a beautiful
This is
game.
going to be fun. And even if Dallas wins, who knows? Dallas can't win at home. Who knows?
Embrace
Maybe
the chaos. Enjoy it.
All the road
Give
teams
Jack
win
Nicholson crazy face and enjoy the game. It's fun.
For my man, Chris Foghat Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights. Take care.